All right, this is recording. I listen next 776. Again, I'm Christina Station 918. You can find me at christinastation918.com. Okay, so this one is going to be on current events. Okay, so I'm going to go over some of the crimes that she has committed worldwide with her Manson occult. And let you know how she did it. Some of it you're going to know instantly. So the first one, South Africa, Eastern Cape farmers devastated by foot and mouth disease outbreak. So you know instantly just by the title alone, Jean Roberts and her Manson occult committed that crime. In Pakistan, 7 police personnel killed in IED blast in northwestern Pakistan. So what she's doing there is that is a revenge attack. You know how she likes to do revenge attacks? Because I call her names in my brain all the time. I call her fallopian tube. I'm trying to report news, but you know I like to tear her apart because she's very guilty and she's a terrorist. But anyway, so that is a revenge attack. So when you go through it and you read it, you're going to see Jean Roberts committed the crime. So United States, University of Virginia hit with bomb threat triggering evacuations. The University of Virginia reported that both Shannon and Clemens libraries have been evacuated due to a bomb threat that was made on Friday. So you know instantly by Shannon, you know instantly how she's using My Darling Clementine. She's pretending to be Miss New Orleans too. She's making I can't think of the name of the oranges, but they're a really famous type of orange that's in New Orleans. And she's making a comparison of the Clementine to that type of orange. So also, what else is she doing is she's probably using Clydesdales here. Anyway, I'm trying to decode this so I can make reports against Jean Roberts, and I literally get interrupted by the people who committed these attacks, okay? And some of those snot bombs that have been on, and they're on today, that have been on like this past couple of weeks in my brain, acting like they're just like the showboat of everything and be all and end all. You can tell that they committed these crimes with Jean. You can tell that's the snot ring of her occult at the top. So anyway, also in this is McCormick and McClintock. And McClintock is a street and it's a road in Phoenix, either in Phoenix or Scottsdale. Maybe it's in Mesa. I don't know. It's in the valley. So you probably could do a cross reduce there. United States, you're going to see the theme the terror theme that she's using in a minute. United States, 1 person dies after Virginia University shooting, 2 in stable condition. Old Dominion University, Norfolk, Virginia. Revenge attack. So this is another revenge attack of hers. She's pretending actually to be my sister. She pretends that she's related to me. And she uses CGI to pretend that she is my sister, Jennifer. She's as sickly obsessed with her as she is me. And she even did CGI the other night of, I guess, what's supposed to be like my brother, but he's like really short and kind of chunky. It was a chick that did it using him as CGI and made him like pose all freaking stupid in my brain. I'm like, you people are freaking idiots. He had on a camouflage jacket. Anyway, so she pretends to be related to me, Jean Jernigan Roberts. She's not. She's my dad's ex-girlfriend. But she loves to pretend to be all of us and commit crime like crazy. So anyway, she's getting revenge because she's using the Old Dominion. So DOM, for those of you that know what that stands for back when, no, I'm not saying this of Virginia, I'm saying this of how she used those initials when I lived in Slidell and I was decoding. So you got to go way back. So for those of you guys that know, and so what do I always call her? Because that's what she is. That's her freaking thing, man. That's her freaking thing. So she's mad that I called her an old, you know what. So, anyway, so she committed this shooting. Then the next one, Netherlands, nearly 40 penguins die from infection at Dutch Safari Park. So what she's doing here is this correlates to here in my area. Okay. So I told you the terror cell is here, and she's got people coming in and out, you know, doing her little stunt game and just commit to terrorism, have a good time. We'll get you taken care of and get all of your needs met. Make your money, do what you want. So what she does is she steals from me. She pretends to be me. She flips it around. She goes in white people's everywhere. So, okay, so in my backyard, the one big tall tree line, like if I'm sitting in my backyard, I look straight on the one big tall tree line. That's where, in mental telepathy and brain space, like in an augmented thing, that's where the actual Joint Chiefs of Staff put themselves, and they try to keep everyone clear and away from there. 'Cause they just Gene Roberts people climb all over everything. And when I'm trying to like communicate about what Gene Roberts and her Manson occult is doing, she just throws more of her criminals out, and they throw the people that have access to AI, mental telepathy, throw themselves and place themselves like all over the place, like creating like a circus like monkey flying trapeze act. It's like they're freaking everywhere. Like it's crazy if you can see my brain what they do, but like they like hang themselves from the ceiling. Like they're all over the freaking place. They go everywhere. So the military, so this manifests into real life. These Gene Roberts and her Manson uncle are committing terrorism. They're not just having a good time with stolen AI. They are committing terrorism. So anyway, so they keep that tree line as Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the only other person that's over there, when they talk would be, the Nation of Islam or Minister Louis Farrakhan. Minister Louis Farrakhan is, even though everybody, African American, they love Minister Louis Farrakhan, even though they may or may not be in the nation. Everybody knows who the Nation of Islam is. And Minister Louis Farrakhan is a highly, highly, highly respected minister that everybody like knows and loves. So, Jean always tries to impersonate him and acts like she's his personal concierge, and someone always comes along and in my brain of mental telepathy and just knocks the shit out of her and knocks her back to her place where she's at in the sky in the area to the right over the houses. So anyway, so he'll come on every once in a while because she'll make fierce accusations and tell all kinds of lies. And then most of the lies that Jean tells, they already know all of her lies, but sometimes she comes up with some new wild lie and she's ready to roll it out and spread the lies everywhere. And then he gets pissed and he's like, no, no, no. So anyway, I don't know if it's like people standing in for him or his people, or if it's just African Americans just like, I'm Minister Louis Farrakhan. I'll knock Jean into her place. I don't know like how that's going about. He doesn't participate in this. Like, and he's told me that, and I know him by listening to him, and I know him by all my decode. He does not participate in any of this at all, and she keeps trying to like stalk his people and trying to like ringlead him. Like you cannot ringlead Minister Louis Farrakhan. Like, I don't know who she thinks she's messing with. So they just pretty much just ignore her. Now, it's not saying that there's people in the Nation of Islam obviously would be aware of what's going on. But he doesn't need to get involved. This is ridiculous. The woman is a terrorist. So anyway, So, okay, so the street line, so he'll go over there, like he puts his presence there. And then over to the right, is where her presence at. They've got property over there somewhere. It's like towards Reese's, like 2 streets up. And they're always throwing their voices and mental telepathy. They're always throwing their voices in that direction. They'll throw their voices also to the left, like further down 79th, and then they throw their voices down towards 79th and Sheridan's, like towards the corner. So, I know that they've got property like in different areas. So just because that's where they're throwing the voices doesn't mean where they're physically located, but they seem to like that area over there. So that's like their spot. So that's where Gene Robertson or Manson occult spot is. So anyway, one day I was driving past, cause I took a wrong turn home, like 2 streets up, and I was driving past and I saw the name of the street that was over there. And I don't pay attention to Jean. I'm like looking at like, like regular life. I'm driving around, even though she's like attacking me in my brain or whatever. But I see the name of this street in that area and it's in Nordam. I call it Nordam. It's Nor something. Oh, Norwood is what it is. And I was like, that's freaking cool. Cause I'm thinking of Nordam, like Norway, oh my gosh, I can't even say the word of it, the Hadron Collider, like the super sciencey stuff. And so I'm like, oh my God, that's a cool name for a street. I'm thinking of like Nordam. And then she's like got her presence hovering over there. So that's why she's got her presence hovering over there. She's acting like she's Mrs. freaking Science or something. But anyway, so she tried to white people and she lied about the name of the street and she went out trying to like incite people. In fact, in my sleep one night I woke up and she shows the whole neighborhood all walking around and marching and stomping, all pissed off about their street name. And they're going to go commit hell and recall holy hell havoc over Jean lying about what I think about the street name, because the street name is freaking cool. That's very freaking cool. It's not cool that Jean has got property over there or upsetting and angering people spreading lies. But I mean, that's Jean Jernigan Roberts for you and her Charles Manson occult. So anyway, okay, so to explain this, so the Virginia shooting, if you were to look at the Virginia shooting, you would see like Virginia, like you would see Pentagon, so you would see like Joint Chiefs of Staff, so on the left. And then, also the Netherlands, okay, nearly 40 penguins die from infection at Dutch Safari Park. So what she's using as a reference here, she committed this crime also. She's making a reference to Minister Louis Farrakhan, because I used to joke around in mental telepathy when I lived in Slidell, because he's so dapper. I just love the way he dresses. He's just, everything about them, they're just amazing to me. But he's just so dapper, you know what I mean? And so, there is a line from a Dr. Dre song that I love, and it always makes me think of Minister Louis Farrakhan, because I mean, he's just always so polished and perfect. So that's what I think of when it became known, like when I lived in Texas, that penguins represent Minister Louis Farrakhan, because they've got like little tuxedos on, you know what I mean? They're just cute as heck. So anyway, so she goes and commits a crime. And so you see how she's making the reference to the arrangement of the houses and then the augmented sphere. And so she goes and commits two crimes. She actually commits 2 crimes, Virginia University, and then the Netherlands. So the Netherlands would be a reference to the Hadron Collider. I can't even say it. I keep getting the name in my brain, like I'm trying to think what their name is. Starts with C. I can't even think of what the name is. Anyway, so she committed this crime. Netherlands, nearly 40 penguins die from infection. She refers to herself as Dutch and Swiss Miss and all of that. Almost 40 African penguins have died at a safari park near Beeksy, Bergen in the Netherlands over the past 5 months. So she's also using my sister, pretending to be my sister here again in her cosplay. You know, she uses CGI pretending to be my sister. She's also pretending to be the mob, okay? And I can tell by the name of the park, Beekse, and then Bergen. She's using like, I can't think of what his name is, the musician Bergen, and then she's using Candace Bergen from Murphy Brown. So she's making a Charles Manson Zodiac Killer reference. And so she's basically saying she's the mob. She's Charles Manson. She can do what she wants. She can use anybody's identities, what she wants, and she can kill who she wants. And she literally committed these crimes. Then the next one is United States, California shootings leave 2 deputies, utility worker injured, suspect also shot. So, remember when I told you I heard the 2 shots and then she went screaming that it was 2 police officers and it was like a fake stage shooting? Okay, so here is the matching story. So she does this fake shooting locally and says 2 police officers are shot. And then now there's a news story saying that 2 police officers shot. So what's going on here? Well, she committed this crime in California. I know that much. She's using Pacific Gas and Electric. She's also making a reference to tampering with people's electricity and gas and water pipes and mains. She's doing that. So maybe she's saying she killed people. Maybe she's pretending to be Mr. Cop and she's saying she killed people underground. Maybe she's doing like a 2-way, like she's saying she killed people underground that are committing terrorism, but then at the same time, she turns around and kills 2 cops in California. But you know how she does as above, so below, and she pairs like do this here and do this here. So that's what's going on there. Then she uses, deputies at the El Dorado Sheriff's Office responded to a home on Mountain View Drive. So what she's saying is there. So here's a new pattern that she's using in these crimes. So Mountain View is a high school in Mesa, Arizona. And the kids, like when I was in high school, all of my classmates, it was like a running joke. Everybody always called that high school Mountain Pew. And so what she's using is pew, pew as the gunshot noise. Like if you shoot a toy gun, it goes pew, pew. So that would be shooting the 2 deputies. So she used Mountain Pew. She's also making a reference to Skunk Works, and you know her Skunk Works relationships. She's also in Skunk Works, now is decoding Skunk Works. She used Pepe Le Pew as a part of their thing. So she's using that. And then also Le Pew, then Depew, and then Lancaster. You're going to see all previous podcasts on Lancaster. So I can tell right now with this last crime here, she has a Sossaman. A Sossaman is another street. She has a Sossaman, Power, and Main terror theme right now. These are all streets in East Mesa and near or into Apache Junction. So in Sossaman, she's saying saucer man, like a Martian. And she's also using the word souse is what she's using. So she's committing terrorism with East Mesa street name themes regardless. So that's why up here it's the electrical and all that. So anyway, United States suspect, I'm going to continue making reports that Jean Roberts is committing with her Manson occult. Okay, so United States suspect killed after attack on Detroit area synagogue, her revenge attack. Okay, so I made fun of her. Okay, she used Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds, in order to torment me with. So I go look back in time. Okay, so she wants me to be like all terror. Nobody's terrorized by her using ice on birds. Okay, so but that's what she wanted, and it did not work for her. So anyways, there's vignettes that she's done using ice um, comedic stuff that's on TV where they're doing regular puns of Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. But you can tell when you're watching them, she warped it all where it would be like me making reports against her in the future. And so the vignettes themselves are like funny because it's all on the birds, but you can see what she's doing back in. And I reversed it at her and I put it at her, and then I had the bird in my brain, I had the birds pecking at her. So anyway, so she's getting, so like whatever she does to me, I like turn back at her, and then she goes and commits crime. So what are the options? Let her freaking stalk me, let her abuse me, let her spread lies, let her run her libel racket, make terrorism money and commit more terrorism. Let her just get away with doing all of that, or turn her ass in. I'll continue to turn her ass in until like, for me to take any dumbassery that she sheds my way, no, I'll reverse it right back at you. In my body, my brain, I will tear your ass apart. So anyway, but I mean, she still attacks my body, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, who the hell do you think you fucking are? And see, even that, she's putting F words in my sentences. So anyway, okay, so she attacked this synagogue, and it's a revenge attack because I've turned her in for attacking synagogues before, and I've turned her in for attacking mosques before. So Netherlands, Dutch police investigate Rotterdam synagogue fire. So another synagogue. She attacked this synagogue also. She's doing the same birds theme. So Rotterdam goes to Rottweiler, goes to Mockingbird, my old street, goes to Caw, my old street. She's making another Alfred Hitchcock birds revenge attack. So she committed that synagogue fire also. Nigeria, terrorists killed 20 security operatives in Plateau ambush. So she committed this crime also. Now, people on study the crimes and they're like, look what else she did. They're pointing because they can see it in the news and they can figure out what else she did. And as soon as they try to tell on her, she tries to turn around and whip at them. She is the one committing the crime. So what she did here was, she's using talent management systems, learning management systems as a theme, which is my industry, that's what my career has been. So Plateau is the name of one of them, and then it's Saba, and then Oracle, so she's using that, and then Oracle, and then she's using Cornerstone, then she's using Tablerone, and then Mesa, and then Platitude, and then Plain Attitude, and then Plain Attitude. She's using, as you can tell, she committed that crime also. Bangladesh, 4 workers injured in Dhaka Regency AC fire. So you can see this one is more of Jean's snot that committed this one, because they want to be seen, they want to be known, they're fabulous. So they're using an Austin Powers reference. That's where the DACA comes in. So the boulders, if you will. So anyway, they are like her, like prima donna, like female freaking Charles Manson Satanist posing as FBI agents. They need to be arrested and electrocuted. But anyway, so she's using a revenge attack, and she's trying to do a counterploy, which is what she tries to do a lot here in Tulsa. The people that say, Christina, we're done here, which is what Jean says too. Basically, they're saying they don't care. They'll commit another crime and say it again. They don't care. They're all psychopaths. So United States barge fire, Newcastle, Delaware. So you can tell just by the title here, she's using to barge. United Kingdom, and then while I'm making reports, she's like pointing my eyes around. Those same damn people that have committed these crimes are like pointing my eyes at me, because their ploy and tactic, which you guys already know, I don't have to say this a million damn times, is Jean Roberts is committing these crimes. She has been committing these crimes. I make reports against her, and now she's decided that I can't make reports against her. and she'll just take over and racket the crimes that she's committed. No, you won't. You're turned in. So anyway, United Kingdom, huge fire breaks out at popular burger restaurant. So she's using the same thing. She's using the same power and Maine and Sossaman theme. Okay, so she's using she's making a reference to Burger King. So, and then she's making a reference to Bilderberg. Okay, and she's exhibiting her jealousy of Bilderbergs is what she's doing. She's trying to like own them. She's nearly 80 and she acts like she's a child. She's stupid. But anyway, so she's using Bilderberg, and then she's using Lindbergh baby. She committed the Lindbergh baby crime back in history too. So you can tell she committed, that she started the fire at that restaurant. She committed that crime too. So that is all for this recording.